Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode here on Mad Eats. Last episode we made some roasts. Those roasts were actually beautiful, but I promised you guys to make a video about what type of rub we used, our most used rub I should say. I think it is one of our most used rubs. So without further ado, let's get into it. As you can see here in front of us, we have quite a wide spread of ingredients. Starting off on the left side, we have salt. Honestly, I think it's a possibility to just do that without salt in the rub. You can add it afterwards. We decided to put it in the rub. We take a very small amount of salt. I think we take about 10 to 15% of our rub is salt, which normally I think store-bought rubs are way higher in salt. The second one we have here, black pepper. We grounded it. It's completely fine, as you can see. Just a normal thing to put in a rub, usually as well. It could be black pepper, you could use white pepper, you could use the pepper mix. Everything is possible. You don't necessarily have to do exactly as we do. I'm not entirely sure how much of a percentage we have. I think it's about 20%, if I'm correct. Next, we have coriander. Ground up coriander as well. I think that's about 10% of the rub. I'm not entirely sure yet again. I probably should have written down how much percentage we use, but you can add any of these ingredients. You can add in any way, shape, or form you want. You can use the entire grains of pepper. You can just crush them. You can completely smash them up like we did. Basically, you can add anything to your flavor, but we ended up with the coriander, and next on we have the ginger. Ginger is, well, a lot of people think it's spicy. Don't know why exactly. I don't necessarily think it's spicy. It does have a strong taste. Especially if you, like me, needed to find out what the ingredient was in the bowl and you put some on your mouth. It keeps lingering on. But again, about 10% of the rub will be ginger. Next up is this one, if I'm correct. That's mustard seeds. That's 5% of the rub we use for mustard seeds. We completely grounded them up yet again. It's small and powdery. They're not like powder form. There's still pieces of the mustard seeds in there. You can probably find crushed mustard seeds anyways in your store, in your local supermarket. We did it like this. Next in line, we have nutmeg. Nutmeg is again about 5% of our rub. I think we have here, I don't actually know how much it will eventually be, but 5% of nutmeg, it adds some sort of a sweet taste, in my opinion, to the rub. We have more things to add, or that we add that are sweeteners, I should say. The next one is not for everyone. Some of you guys might think, oh no, we don't do that stuff. But next up is cayenne pepper. I love it. It's a little bit spicy. It's not too spicy in my opinion, but that's maybe because I eat a lot of spices. But you can add it. You can do it without. In my opinion, I say let's give it a try. It's only 5%, so it's not overpowering. It's not a lot. I'd say let's do it. Let's just give it a try, even if you normally don't really eat spicy food. Then next up is the cloves, if I'm correct. Very dark, powdery stuff. We completely ground it up as well, of course. That's the only way you can add it to the rub, because they're pretty hard and pretty painful to chew on if you keep them whole. Again, about 5% of the rub will be this. It should all add up to 100%, if I'm correct. So 5% of the rub will be cloves. Then, of course, we go on to the next one, which is garlic. Garlic is very, very important in a rub. And that's about 1%, 10%, I think. I see on the background. 10% of the rub will be garlic. I already thought 1% is a little bit low for this amount. But 10% of that will be garlic powder. Up next, we grounded up onions, which is again about 10% of the rub. We use dried onions that we ground up. I think you can just find onion powder in stores in most local supermarkets. Give that a go. It really adds to the entire flavor. And last but not least, we have sugar, which is only 5% of the rub will be sugar. We use raw sugar. You can basically use whatever sugar you'd like. The dog is on the background, is making an entire mess out of my house, but, well, then again, I already made an entire mess out of my house myself. But about 5% of it will be raw sugar, or whatever thing you'd like as sweetener. Do use a dry thing, because I have seen someone who can't cook, who decided to make a rub, and he decided that it was a smart thing to put honey in a rub, and that doesn't work. Then you get like one big lump of it basically just doesn't work. So do use only dry ingredients. Now all we have to do is all we have left to do is we have to add them all together. We have to make the rub, and then we might use it for maybe a piece of meat or something. We'll figure out. But let's first at least add up the rub. I'm using a whisker. I don't know why it's here, so I'm using a whisker. First off, like I said, we start off with the salt. The salt is not a lot. It's really a small amount of the entire rub. As you can see, I think it's half the amount or something of the pepper. In volume wise. Again, you can leave it out. You don't necessarily have to put it in. You can put them afterwards. It's all up to you. Next up is the pepper, which is gonna be a fun one. So don't put it in your nose, or don't sniff it up, because it will make you sneeze quite a lot. Next up is the coriander. We're basically just gonna get everything together. Straight away. We're not gonna mix anything yet. We're gonna put in the coriander. We're gonna put in the ginger. All of it. We're gonna put in the mustard seeds. We're gonna put in nutmeg. We're gonna put in our cayenne pepper. We're gonna put in our cloves, the garlic, and that's very powdery, the onion, and the sugar. Now all we have to do is mix it up, which is going to be a fun one. Honestly, we have no clue yet what we should name the rub. That's our main issue. If you guys have any fun names or any good names for them, please let us know in the comments. For now, I think we'll just call it MadsBBQRub or something. I have no clue, since we're Mad Eats. I think that's something for now. We probably should have thought of a name, but let's be honest. In our eyes, it's mainly just herbs that we put together and that we mash over our food. I should have gotten a bigger plate. This is not big enough. Mix it all together. Good. Don't throw it This doesn't work, man. This doesn't work. Okay, we're back. We got our container cleaned out, dried, everything. We got our thing to put it in. Now the difficult part is going to put it all in there without putting it all here. That's gonna be a fun one, I think, but we're gonna give it a go. Slowly but surely, we'll put it all in. Still going good. Okay, that might be overconfident. Yep, I'm definitely overconfident here. Definitely overconfident. Alright, let's start with this. Mainly because I have to make sure it actually goes through. It's a little bit hesitant sometimes. That's no problem. As I can't say the word out loud. There was my screw cap. Put it back on. There we have it. Our rub. If you have a name, if you want us to call it something specific, for now we're just gonna call it MadsBBQRub. That's all I can do. Whoops. I hit table. But yeah, that's all we can do for now. MadsBBQRub. We're gonna cut over, I think, towards us making at least a piece of meat with it to complete the video. So hopefully I'll see you guys there.